All right, hello and welcome to our first Strixhaven MTG Arena Deck Tech Brawl gameplay session. We have the one, the only Professor Onyx. School is in session, and we are here to play some mono black control. So 6 mana, 5 loyalty planeswalker, and Liliana planeswalker. It's very interesting. She has the new keyword of Magecraft. Whenever you cast an or copy an instant or sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. We got a lot of instants and sorceries, being mono black control, and we got some finishers. +1, you lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of your library, put 1 of them into your hand, the rest into your graveyard. Each opponent -3. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. Does very well with Tear Grid. Then -8, each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. I don't know if Professor Onyx is really the strongest mono black control deck. I think Tear Grid kind of beats her out there, but she's new, she's exciting, she's fun. Let's get into some of the cards from Strixhaven. Not too many. Black monocolored decks didn't get a lot of things in this set, so a lot of old black card favorites along with a few new ones from Strixhaven. So we're playing the Callous Blood Mage, 3 mana 2/1. When it enters the battlefield, you choose 1, so it's got lots of options. You can create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. And so it creates 2 blockers for 1 creature. That's awesome. You can draw a card and lose a life, or you can exile target player's graveyard. It's got lots of applications, lots of different things. The Sedgemoor Witch, 3 mana 3/2 with Menace Ward. So that's that new keyword. If an opponent were to target this permanent, they would have to pay 3 life on top of targeting it, or that spell will be countered. It has the new Magecraft ability. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Great ways of protecting Professor Onyx. We have Brawl Juke. Choose 1, target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, or create a 2/1 white and black inkling creature token with flying. It is an instant, which is awesome. So it's an instant 3 mana 2/1 flyer, or it's an instant target player sacrifices a creature or a planeswalker. It does a lot of things that we want to do, and it plays really well with our Tear Grid in the deck. Baleful Mastery, 4 mana to exile target creature or planeswalker. If you pay, you can play an alternate casting cost of a black and a colorless, and if you do that, an opponent draws a card. So if you're in a pinch and you're low on mana, you can use this to maybe save yourself. More often than not, you want to try to cast it at its full cost. We have Crushing Disappointment. Each player loses 2 life. You draw 2 cards, 4 mana instant. I wanted to give it a try. Might be better options out there, but hey, it's a new card. And then Mage Hunter. I think this card is really cool. It's a 4 mana 3/4. Whenever an opponent casts or copies an instant or sorcery spell, they lose 1 life. It's got a decent body, and it punishes decks for casting spells, which is really, really neat. All right, we're going to get into some of the cards that were already in standard. We're going to go removal spells. We're going to go can't hate spells, some creatures, some non-creature spells, and then the lands. We got Blood Chief's Thirst, 1 mana or 4 mana to destroy a creature planeswalker, 1 mana for 2 mana value or less. If it's kicked, you do them all. Eliminate, one of the new masterpiece kind of cards from the set. Eliminate the artwork. It's just the artwork. The artwork's really neat. Destroy target creature or planeswalker with mana value 3 or less. Feed the Swarm, one of Black's ways of dealing with artifacts and enchantments. Destroy target creature or an enchantment an opponent controls. You lose life equal to that permanent's mana value. Freaka's Libation is the other way that we can deal with enchantments. Either target player sacrifices a creature, or target opponent sacrifices an enchantment. Murderous Rider, good old faithful from Eldraine. Has Swift End, which is destroy target creature or planeswalker. You lose 2 life, or it is a 3 mana 2/3 with lifelink, and when it dies, it goes to the bottom of your library. One of the cards from our previous set, Kaldheim. Poison the Cup, 3 mana, destroy target creature. If the spell is foretold, you scry 2, and this foretell casting cost is 1 black and a colorless. Eat to Extinction, exile target creature or planeswalker. Look at the top card of your library. You put one of, or you may put that card into your graveyard. Eat to Extinction, you either get to choose all even or all odd, and then you exile all cards with that mana value, or all creatures with that mana value. Crippling Fear, 4 mana sorcery, choose a creature type. Creatures that aren't of that type get -3/-3 until the end of turn. Hagra Mauling can be Hagra Brood Pit, which is a land that comes into play tapped, or you can pay a black and 2 colorless to destroy target creature. So we got lots of different ways to just destroy target creature, or in some ways target planeswalker, and lots of board wipes. One of the best board wipes in the set for or in our format right now is Shadow's Verdict. 5 mana to exile all creatures and planeswalkers with mana value 3 or less from the battlefield, and all creatures and planeswalker cards with mana value 3 or less from all graveyards. So great. We don't have that many things that hit this. It's just a great card. Blood on the Snow, being able to destroy all creatures or all planeswalkers for 6 black mana is great, and being able to return a creature or a planeswalker. So in theory, if we wanted to, we could let Professor Onyx die, go to our graveyard, cast this. If we can cast it with 6 snow mana, of which we have, what, 20 of them, we should be able to pull Professor Onyx back out of our graveyard, which is pretty cool. Massacre Worm, a great removal spell on a stick. 6 mana for 6/5's pretty good stats, and when it enters the battlefield, all your opponent's creatures get -2/-2, and whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. We're killing lots of things in this deck if you haven't noticed. So Massacre Worm triggers after, which is really great. Erebos' Intervention, we can either kill a thing or we can exile guards from graveyards. Lots of synergy, not necessarily synergy, I should say, but lots of potential to do many different things. Then we have some Hand Disruption. I wanted to play Duress because it has the new artwork and that is just so cool. Being able to take a non-creature, non-land card from an opponent is quite good. Acquisitions Expert, we could have played the 2 mana 1/1 elf, but this does the same thing, and this might be able to look at other things. And so when it enters the battlefield, target opponent reveals a number of cards from their hand equal to the number of creatures in your party. A party is a cleric, a rogue, a warrior, or a wizard, and they discard that card. It's a 2 mana 1/2 instead of a 2 mana 1/1, which is a lot better than the elf that discards a card. Agonizing Remorse, another one of those great new artwork cards. 2 mana, they reveal their hand. You choose a non-land card from it, or from their graveyard. I always forget the graveyard part. Exile that card, you lose 1 life. And then Skull Raid. This is discard, this is card draw. This does 2 different things. So it's either cost face value of 4 mana, or foretell after you've paid 2 the next turn, you can pay a black and a colorless. Your opponent discards 2 cards, and if they have less than that, then you get to draw cards equal to the difference. So if they have no cards in their hand, this is 2 mana or 4 mana, draw 2 cards. If they have 1, it's they discard 1, you draw 1. It has a lot of good stuff going on. We got a smattering of creatures. We got to protect the professor. We have the Serrated Scorpion, comes down early, drains when it dies. Just a really efficient blocker, blocks all the X1s very well. Boot Nipper, if we're behind, we can give it lifelink. If we're ahead, we give it death touch. It's really hard to attack into if it's got death touch, and it's a low drop efficient creature. Timurit, Chosen from Death. Here's another one of those graveyard hate cards. Its power or its toughness is equal to your devotion to black, so it comes down as a 2/2. You can pay a black and a colorless to exile up to 2 cards from graveyards. You gain 1 life for each creature exiled this way, so it's a way for us to disrupt their graveyard. Varrogoth, Blood Sky Sire, 3 mana 2/3 with death touch, and it has boast, so after you attack, the fact that it has death touch, you can attack it into anything. Then you can pay a black and a colorless to search your library, or you can have your opponent search their library. I don't think you want them to do that. You can shuffle or find a card, put it on, shuffle your library, then put it on top, so you can find anything that you need for any situation. Palladium Mirror, 3 mana 2/2 that taps for 2 colorless mana. Play this on 3, play our land on 4. We cast Professor Onyx on turn 4. That's why I picked this card in the deck. It doesn't really do much else. It is a good ramp spell, but it makes us be able to cast our commander on turn 4, which is 2 turns early. Draugr Necromancer, 4 mana 4/4. We're destroying a lot of creatures, So if we destroy a non-token creature, you put an ice counter on it and exile it instead of putting it in its graveyard. You can cast that creature spell with snow mana as though that snow mana was any color. We have 20 snow mana in the deck. We're going to be able to do that. Sir Conrad the Grim. Here again, we're destroying lots of creatures. So whenever a creature dies or is put into a graveyard from anywhere, library, hand, battlefield, Sir Conrad the Grim deals 1 damage to each opponent, and you can pay a black and a colorless for each player to mill 2 cards. Tergrid, God of Fright, and Tergrid's Lantern. More often than not, we're playing this on the God of Fright side. We have a lot of discard spells, and we have a decent amount of sacrifice spells. So the synergies here, when an opponent sacrifices a non-token permanent or discards a permanent card, you can put that card on the battlefield under your control. Players play Fabled Passages. Players play the enchantments that have sacrificed this to scry 2. This gets all those. It's very good. Tergrid's Lantern, if we're in a late game kind of mode, this might be better for us. Being able to have an opponent lose 3 life unless they sacrifice an online permanent or discard a card. And then you can untap this for 4 mana. It's a finisher in and of itself. Tergrid has menace, so she attacks really well as well. Then we're into some non-creature spells. Cling the Dust, being able another exile target card from a graveyard. It's a creature card, you gain 2 life or 3 life, otherwise you draw a card. So it's card draw. With Professor Onyx, we are filling our graveyard, so being able to use our graveyard is good. We have a couple ways to do that. This is one of those. Another way to use our graveyard is our only reanimation spell, which is Return Upon the Tide. I picked this one because you can foretell it for 4, so you can pay 2 mana to put it into the foretell zone and then pay 4 mana to play it rather than 5. If we get something in our graveyard early because someone makes us discard a card, being able to return a Massacre one for 4 mana instead of most of the other return any kind of creature spell is 5 mana. So I think it's great. We don't really have any of the else synergies, but just the fact that you can cast this for 4 mana is quite good. Then we have Arcane Signet, just tapping for a black mana, going from 2 to 4 mana. It's pretty good. We get a decent amount of 4s. Foreboding Fruit, it's nice to be able to draw cards. You can also point this at your opponent if they're at 2, make them lose 2 life. And then we're 99% gonna pay the adamant cost. We only have 2 out of our 22, 23 mana sources with Hagra Mauling. So maybe 98% is a little high, but anyways, we're gonna get a food token when we cast this, and we can sacrifice it to gain 2 life or 3 life. Then we have Altar the Pantheon. Playing this one because Tergrid is a god, and also Timuret is a demigod, so there are times when we'll be able to tap this to gain a life, which is quite nice. Talked about Return Upon the Tide. We have Castle Lochthwain to draw us some cards. We have 19 snow-covered swamps because we want to hit those black mana symbols because we have a lot of 2 and a 3 pip cards. We have Crawling Barrens, and we have Faceless Haven as creature lands to help us deal damage when we run out of things to do. And yeah, we got the cool sleeves for Professor Onyx from the beginning when we got to open up those packs. And yeah, that is Professor Onyx, Legendary Planeswalker Liliana, Mono Black Control. Let's get into some games. All right, we're up against McClace. Ooh, disruption, exile graveyard. Okay, yeah. He's playing, or they are playing, Extus, Oriq, Overlord, and Awaken the Blood Avatar. The last few times I've seen Awaken the Blood Avatar, it's been, yeah. It's definitely Awaken the Blood Avatar is the most common card being played over these two. Discard another card, please. All right. Cole, I guess when you sacrifice on the Blood Avatar side. We got an exile thing for their duder. Yep. Well, next turn, they can... I think we just empty their hand. No, we do this. All right, sacrifice all your things. They're mine. If you wish. Hopefully we draw a few more lands. Ha ha ha! That's how you shut off that guy. All right, let's run her back. We are up against Tucker King and Tanazir. It's cool to see all these new creatures. We got 2. We got 3. We got some 4s. We got an eliminate. This is gonna play some interesting stuff. All right, I think we can keep this. Oh, and I think this is the coolest new avatar of all of them. I am 100% a Witherbloom fanatic. All right, let's foretell this. Let's draw some lands. This will help us draw some lands. This is definitely going to help us draw some lands. Boom. Okay, we draw this land. This doesn't actually help us, although it's really good. But I think we got to put that on the bottom. We need lands. I'm thinking the deck might want maybe 2 more ramp style of spells. Okay, what does this do again? Exile the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, put a study counter on it. Pay 5 mana, create a 0/0. Okay, that's not... I'm not too worried about that. All right. Mana efficiency. Destroy target... We could do that. We could do this. I'm not super afraid of this. We'll just let them exile some things and then blow it up. I think we do that. And we end the turn. We'll see what else they play. Oh, and if you have any ideas for oh, well, I got to draw a land. Any ideas for decks you want to see moving forwards? Let me know. I am very interested in tailoring my content to my subscribers and to my people who want to give me some input. Who do you want to see? What commander do you want to see played next? Another land? Oh, they're running hot. You may just have to kill this. That is something we definitely have to kill. Well, I think we do Wither Sedgemoor Witch. Give them the opportunity to counter this if they so desire. And then I think I eliminate this. This thing can get out of hand super fast. Plus I get a 1/1. They have a way to save it? They do. Well, that's unfortunate. We'll be able to make them sacrifice it. Quadrix is going to come down and double the 1/1 counters. You have to pick something to sacrifice with this. Oof. Okay, I think we just lost. Did they finally not hit a land? Nope. Okay. This isn't gonna do much for us right now. We can make them discard 2. Well, we can attack for 3. This has menace. Nothing fancy happens when you hover over them. That's unfortunate. we will be playing Tanazir at some point. It's kind of fun to see other people's versions of Tanazir. Or just other people's versions of these decks in general. And then I think we... This? Make a 1/1. I think we're gonna play the Death Toucher. Ooh. If that's what they're discarding, we are in trouble. Have to gain your 2 life. Don't forget to do that. Buddha. Blood in the snow, I guess. Yeah. Now we have to exile Odd. Which kind of sucks because that gets rid of these things as well. There's blood in the snow. This is very unfortunate. Alright. We will attack with these 2. Okay. Mm-hmm. Then we have to kind of do this. We'll get another one of these. These are even. Odd. AtBA, is this only a... Gargaroth. Ooze. Land. That is not a land. We can do this, have 3 mana, do this. This next turn is gonna hurt. Sacrifice a creature. A Vergroth in the graveyard, that's good. Nope. I have no way to get rid of this thing. Oh my goodness. I think we've lost. They're just gonna draw a card? Yeah, it makes no sense. Ow. Gain a life. Alright. Well, we got a Death Toucher. Now these counters just aren't going away. We can take up Liliana, put something in the graveyard for a return upon the tide. What's the plan? Caryatid. Sure. Vornclex. Ow. Good game. Good game. Boom, boom. All right. Let's move on to the next one. All right, Devil Juno. Yeah. Extus and Awaken the Blood Avatar. I think we mulligan this. I want a couple more lands. I guess we keep this. I don't want to go to 6. We got 2 lands. We got a removal spell. We got card draw. We got a ramp that can get us to where we need to get to. Discard a card. Sure. Come on, land. Land would be fantastic. That is a Timuret. That is a Murderous Rider. No lands. You're playing the Exodus side. Or Extus. That's kind of cool. Nah, I'll take one. Sure. Land. Ramp. And turn. No blocks. I think we're gonna play Tergrid. I think it's got double strike. Yo. De dum dum. Yeah. I'm assuming they have a removal spell. It's kind of cool that we get to play a 5-color commander or 3-color commander, 5-color, like this. Sure. You're leaving the board open to me. Let's exile your graveyard. And let's end the turn. Okay. Massacre Worm. Let's do this. We're gonna minus.
The essence is inseparable from the essence of death.
Sure. Don't think I'm gonna see anything with haste. Here comes the well, we can do this first. Can lose 2 life, I'll gain a life. Yet another land. Lands are good. Let's draw a card. You have 1 card in hand. I think we Skull Raid? Or do we Mastery? We have this. This clears... What do they do? This clears their board. I like this because this draws us cards eventually. We do this.
There's gotta be something useful.
Then let's do this. We're gonna choose Vampire. Do they really have a pump spell? Oh, they just have a destroy target creature spell. Sure. Then let's choose Assembly Worker. This is, I think, was a good choice. 2 mana, draw 2. All right, +1. I want Fairgroth. All right, the card advantage is real. Professor Onyx doing her thing, winning some games. All right, that is the video. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, wherever you are in the world. If you have any thoughts or ideas to make Professor Onyx better, shoot them down in the comments below. Take care. From Mr. Pisto to you. Bye for now.